G'day everyone, my name's Dean. Welcome to the 2-2-2 competition with just 2 rounds remaining until the end of the season. Things are heating up at this back end of the competition, and due to everyone complaining so very much that results aren't going the way they have planned them, I will not be taking part as a side. I'll be using the default sides. You're all buffoons. This is your own doing. Alright, the West Indies and South Africa here at the Trinidad Cricket Ground. If you thought South Africa were good before, you'll realise just how bad they are once I don't take control of them. Alim Dar and Chris Goulder here. Marlon Samuels is around about the number 3 mark there for the Windies. There's a bit of wind and it's a hard pitch. Looks like the weather's fine. Could be a good batting pitch, could be a good bowling pitch. Could be anything. I don't have a clue right now. South Africa have won the toss. They're going to elect to bat first. I reckon runs on the board. No, they're going to bowl first. They are going to bowl first. Very interesting choice. But I suppose bowling has been their strength so far this competition. Rabada been the man to take wickets for them. And I really think that that's something they're going to get stuck into here. Now, here's Chris Gayle, averaging 15 runs in this tournament with a total of 60 runs. One of the leading score getters in this tournament. He's doing very nicely. And we've worked out if Chris Gayle gets more than 7, the West Indies play well. But when Rabada takes a wicket, South Africa do well. What will happen here? Rabada storming in. Oh, and Gayle just goes high. Man out there, doesn't matter, 6. That is the perfect start for the West Indies. Rabada just trying to pitch it up there, attempted to... Well, not really, actually. It was just a bit of a half volley. Just a poor delivery in every sense of it. But a great start from the West Indies here. And again, Gayle just punching this through the offside. Thought about the single. Should have taken it. Decided no. Third ball of the over here. Rabada to Gayle. Oh, chips it away and it's a wicket. The fielder takes a glorious catch there. Straight to the man at point. Not sure that Gayle got all of that one. If you thought he did, it would have just flown through, but it was still hit very hard. Gone for 3 after 3 deliveries. 6 runs. Remember, 7 was the magic number to see how Gayle would go. Here's hope and hope at the crease for the West Indies. What can they do in this one? Can they get some more runs, or will Rabada finish them off for a low score? That is a dot ball. Rabada storming in again to hope. In swinging Yorker, just a little bit of an outside edge on that one, and they'll get a little single there. So 7 runs here from the first over for the Windies with 1 ball to come. Here's Kyle Hope, yet to face a delivery. This is his debut innings, I believe. He has, although I feel like he's been in before. He might not have faced a ball though. Anyway, here's Hope just through the offside to the man at point, no run. The West Indies after the first over, 1 for 7. And here's Morne Morkel going to be bowling that second over here. We've seen him do this a couple of times on a couple of occasions. Bowl the second over just to see how well he can do things. That's pulled away into the gap there just for a single from Mr. Hope. And now Kyle Hope will be back on strike. I don't know who S. Hope is. Don't know what his first name is, therefore I'm just referring to him as Shope. Alright. What can Kyle Hope do? He's got a big offside gaps. He's chopped it through there between point and third man. It's going towards the rope. Fielders will get under it and they will save it, keep it to just 2 runs. The West Indies move to 10. Kyle Hope gets his first runs in this competition after only recently getting an opportunity at this position in the order. And he pulls this one away. There's a fielder over there. He's going to save it, or is he? No, it's 4 runs. What a shot in the end. A great strike. So the West Indies, 14 runs is their current total. 1 wicket in hand. 3 balls remaining. That is a good shot again. That's going to be another boundary. Kyle Hope, back-to-back boundaries. This over's been a nice one for the West Indies. They get to 18 runs total here. Field changes. A few men go out on the offside now. Bit more of a leg side gap if you get it over the top. But expect the ball to be outside off, and it is. So it's just a Quick single, thought about it, but decided no run. So 18's not a bad score here. What can they finish here? A 6 would be ideal. And it is skied. Just going to be a 4, I reckon. No, it does clear the rope. So it is 6 for the West Indies. 24, meaning 12 and over is what's required. Kyle Hope, a 16-run innings here. So that ball was swinging in on the leg stump. Attempted Yorker length, and he just manages to tonk it over the top there. But that is not a bad score. 24 runs. They can get an early wicket, puts all kinds of pressure on South Africa. And Kyle Hope so far, very nice work. So for the South Africans, they've got Hashim Amla to open the batting, who's made 38 runs throughout this competition. Alzari Joseph going to be bowling here. The first time I reckon he has had the ball in his hand in this competition. It's bowling to Amla. Short one, chopped away through the offside. That's going to be a couple of runs. I don't think it's going to reach the rope. They might turn for 3. Just stick with the 2. Amla was looking for it, but not to be. So that's what they're going to need. 2 per ball for South Africa, or boundaries as well. 25, the score to win. 24, the total of the West Indies. Oh, this looks like a good dot ball here from Joseph. No run there. West Indies with a bit of a spread field here. A lot of gaps, but also... Oh, that's a wicket! An inside edge from Hashim Amla, taken by the keeper Hope. And South Africa in all kinds of stress, a stressful position. I can't even speak here, it's too good. 1 for 2. Amla gone. Edge through to the keeper. Oh, take a look at this on the replay. Hope's just been changing up a lot of variety this over. This one's a shorter length ball. Caught him trapped on the crease, inside edge, and a great keeping catch from Hope down there. Unbelievably good. Faf du Plessis to the crease. De Villiers might be a little bit injured. That's why he's not coming in at number 3. Again, I didn't change the lineups here. That's just the default ones. Joseph coming in. Oh, and it's du Plessis going over the top on the offside for 4. So 19 from 8 is what's required right now. It is close. It is tempting. It is a good match. That's pulled away. And it is 4 more runs for a du Plessis. Just got it over the top of that fielder at deep mid-on. Sort of a mid, like halfway between mid-on and mid-wicket position. And another boundary. South Africa moved to 10 from 5 balls. That's going to be 5 wides. A very poor delivery from Joseph. And that could be very costly for the West Indies. It means it's now just 10 from 7. 5 runs there. They did not need those 5 runs. Anyway, end of the over. It's 1 for 15. But if you just didn't bowl that bad delivery, you thought they were on. Anyway, here's Miguel Cummins to bowl the final over. 10 runs required for South Africa. 1 wicket for the Windies. That ball, a bit of an inside edge towards the fine leg fielder, and it's just a single. So de Kock gets du Plessis back on strike. He's already hit a couple of boundaries. Given the field at the moment, he would fancy his chances here. Or chops it away. Fielder getting to it, but 4. 4 runs for du Plessis again towards third man, and 5 required now. Jeez, you just thought that if they needed 10 from 4, it would have been a much bigger deal. Anyway, that's pushed away for a single down to the man at cover. 4 runs required to win. If only that ball was just not bowled so wide. A couple of men saving singles, couple of men on the fence. Where's this ball? It's a short one. It's pulled away. It's a boundary. That's it. South Africa get the win with 2 balls to spare. Disappointment from the West Indies because they would have thought they had a big chance here. Du Plessis, probably one of the best players on the field. They're 13 from 5. But Joseph, very costly mistake at the end of that first over. 5 wides allowed South Africa a little bit of breathing room in that final over to get the job done. So South Africa lock in their finals position there with their 7th victory. Their net run rate isn't as fantastic as you'd expect for a side on top, but it's a costly loss for the West Indies. It puts their spot in extreme jeopardy. They've just dropped below the Australians there, as you can see. So with just plenty of other teams to play, they can even this up here and go level with the West Indies. Sri Lanka, the ones that you would think would push in to this side. They're playing Pakistan, the winner, with a big chance to push into the top 4. Let's see how it plays out. Possibly in the finals series, you think whoever is to lose this game would be out of the running for those finals matches in this competition, in the 2-2 competition. If you lose this one, you would go to 5 losses and 3 wins, and very unlikely you're going to be positioning yourself inside that top 4 at the end of the next round. So huge stakes this match, really big stakes. The winner gives them an opportunity to be in the finals. The loser is out of that race. Amir to Gunathalaka to begin, Sri Lanka to bat, Pakistan to bowl. 4 runs to begin. What a shot. So Sri Lanka probably have the best chance of progressing through if they win this game, given they have such a high net run rate, as this one's pushed away again for another boundary. And it's just off the back of them winning a couple of games, bowling sides out for really small totals. So you'll feel they'll probably want to try and do that again today, is make a big score and then, take the game on with the ball and try and take as many wickets as they possibly can. And this has been a good start so far. 9 runs from just 3 deliveries. That one's a bit leg-sided. I think an inside edge onto the pad is going to result in a single. So 10 runs already from this opening over. We've seen a score of 24 get chased down by the top side in South Africa. So there's still plenty up for grabs at the moment in terms of, big scores getting chased down and what you need to expect to make in order to have a winning score in this competition. With 1 ball left in the over, a 6 would put them in probably a positive position here. That's a wide, and we saw this last week, or in the last game. The West Indies just bowled a wide late in that first over for 5 wides, just like we've seen here. Could that come back to bite the Pakistan side? It's an extra 5 runs for no loss of a delivery for Sri Lanka, and it's going to be another boundary off the final over. So what could have been just a 10-run over has turned into a 19-run over. Huge positioning change for Sri Lanka. It's just not needed, really. Anyway, here's Ali to bowl the second over. 38 the projected total if they get another 19 this over. This one is whipped over the offside through the covers for a boundary from Munawira. And Sri Lanka already on 23, just 7 legal deliveries into this innings. Oh, is that an edge through the keeper? Play the miss, I believe. No run there. Oh, that is a full toss. Tempted Yorker, gets absolutely slapped through the covers for a boundary. And so far, so good for the Sri Lankans. 27 runs with 3 balls to spare. You would think a 30-plus score is very much on the cards. There's another boundary, is it? No, it's just going to be kept to 2 by the Pakistan side. And to third man, didn't quite have the power to reach the rope. But still, 2 balls to go. Oh, that one's over the top on the offside. Fielder's finally out there. It's just going to be a single. And the Sri Lankans have made 30 runs in this innings with 1 ball to come. It's a huge score. It's a massive score. We've only seen something similar get chased down by the Australians against South Africa, I think it was, or maybe, I can't remember who it was against, maybe against India. They chased down like a 28 score, which is a big score. There's a wide, which again is costly, adding on to another run and another extra delivery here for Sri Lanka to get critical runs in this one, and it's going to be another single. So 32 the score, big total, going to need to be a big run chase to get there. You would say the Sri Lankans are in position A. Udana to bowl, Lakmal will bowl the second over. They've got plenty in the bank in terms of runs, and their field is well versed and spread. This one is a nice shot through the point region just for 2 runs. So Pakistan know they're going to have to get runs off every single delivery, and they're going to have to probably be fairly lucky as well. They're probably going to need a couple of wides or maybe a no ball free hit. But they are going to have to go over the top aerially. 6s and 4s required. There's the wicket because they were forced to do it. Zaman is out, 1 for 2. Pakistan, as Babar Azam comes to the crease. Another field change here. Udana takes another wicket in this competition, having a fantastic comp. That one's whipped over the leg side for a 4. And Pakistan, they just know that they can't afford to waste time. They need to be able to hit these runs. And even if they can't win the game, which is very likely to put them out of contention of the finals, they want to give themselves the best net run rate possible to be able to win. So 7 runs taken from their first 4 balls. Remember, Sri Lanka made 19 off their opening over, courtesy of 5 wides from one of the balls. It's a nice Yorker there, just going to be kept to another single, so 8 runs here. 25 runs required from 7 balls. It's definitely a possibility, but they're going to need to start hitting big pretty quick. That one's another boundary, so a 4 off every ball will get them there. 12 runs off the first over, 20 needed with 1 over to come. They bring in the big gun, Lakmal to bowl the second over here, pulled away, just going to be a single, possibly 2 runs. Oh, they thought about the 2, mix up between the blokes and they'll get the second run there. They needed to run. There's got to be a bit more communication between the batsmen there. Babar Azam, 19 required from 5. That's a boundary every ball needed. And this one's going to be through the leg side. It's not going to be a boundary. It's going to be a single. Amin is probably the man to hit the boundaries. But with just 4 balls to go, 18 runs is a huge ask. But I'm not sure why. Sri Lanka have brought the field in.
Waiting.
And it's going to save a single. Unbelievable. They need 6, 6, and 6 in order to win this game. Can Amin do it? Short ball, top edge, wicket. Sri Lanka win. Pakistan have been eliminated from the 2-2-2 tournament competition. World Cup, whatever you want to call it. Huge top edge, straight to that man, and the change in the field did bring about the wicket. So Sri Lanka, a 17-run win. Vital net run rate. Huge net run rate victory for them there. Gunath Thalaka, the player of the match, making a stack of runs. And as we go to the leaderboards, or the ladder, as I should say, the standings, as it's called in cricket. I don't know what these things are. We see that Sri Lankan win puts them into 2nd position with a couple of games remaining in this round. Another critical match will be in Pakistan. That loss puts them in 9th place. So they are virtually eliminated from this competition with 1 round to go, and Ireland, the only other side, eliminated as well. The next match also has huge implications. Australia will be playing New Zealand. The winning side will be put into the top 4 probably by the end of the round. And as we saw, Australia just beat New Zealand earlier on in the week. In New Zealand, they went undefeated through the Tri-Series. They're going to have their T20 side in. Huge match here at the Adelaide Oval. The winner will put themselves in the best possible position going forward in this competition. If Australia win, they might have locked down a final spot. If New Zealand win, they will give themselves the opportunity to play off for it in the final round. Australia have won the toss and have elected to bat here on what looks like a nice Adelaide Oval wicket. So David Warner to open the batting, Trent Bolt to open the bowling, Glenn Maxwell is in as well. Not a huge crowd in for this 2-2 match over at the Adelaide Oval, but Bolt to Warner. Bang! Single. So dramatic for the first ball. Glenn Maxwell been elevated once again to the position of opener. He's just proven himself as of late. That's a boundary for him to start. Australia none for 5 after 2. That's 2 deliveries in there, none for 5, not 2 overs. Maxwell again to face Bolt. A little bit of an inside bottom edge. Just going to get away with a single. Puts them on to 6 runs. Looked like one out of the back of the hand from Trent Bolt there. Oh, God, I'm yawning. No run. Bolt again to Warner, just down the leg side. Trapping him for room. And we've seen this with David Warner a couple of times throughout this tournament. If you can get him stuck on the leg side, he's not going to make as many runs as he would like. There, just a little bit more room, and he's hit it for 6. So into the opening over, Australia make 12 from it. It's a pink ball match here too. So Tim Southey to bowl the second over here for New Zealand. Australia 12 off their opening over. Chasing down this total. That one's pushed in between a few slips from Glenn Maxwell. Is it going to go all the way to the fence or the rope? It's going to go for 4. Maxwell so far 9 from 3. Looking dangerous, looking threatening every delivery. Getting bat on ball. And that's what you want in a 2-2-2 player. And he's pushed that one again in that same zone, but a good piece of fielding keeps it to no run. Australia will be eyeing off a 30-plus score here, or at least something in the high 20s. And that is down the ground. That is going to be 4 in between the 2 fielders. Boundary again for Glenn Maxwell. And he moves to 13 from 5. Australia bring up the 20 with 3 balls to come. Again, as I was saying, 30 is the score they're eyeing off here today. Maxwell whips that through the leg side again for another 4. 2 balls remaining, and 24 is a very strong score from the Aussies. 3 boundaries already from this Southey over, and doubling their initial first over scores. This one's punched away, but no avail there, just a dot ball. So the last ball of this first innings, Australia on 24 currently. A 6 will give them a 30 score, a 4 to 28. It's an edge. It doesn't carry to the keeper. 24 runs, 2 per ball. The score to defend. Martin Guptill and Kane Williamson to open the batting here for New Zealand. Mitchell Starc to be back in the bowling sights of the Aussies, deciding not to go with spin today, but back to their strike bowler, Starc. Oh, that is the way you want him to start. A in-swinging Yorker on the stumps, gets an outside edge, and the wicket of Martin Guptill caught Matty Wade. What a start from the Aussies. A wicket off the first delivery of the game, and a huge wicket of Martin Guptill. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Starc swinging that ball in, just gets a little bit of bounce before the edge, and a wicket ensues. So this will bring Colin Munro to the crease. Has yet to bat in this competition, but let's one more look at that Starc dismissal. In swinging Yorker, just on the outside edge of the bat, and a good catch from Matty Wade in there. So Australia just 1 wicket away from victory here. New Zealand 25 needed from 11. Short ball from Starc is a wide. Starc again, outside edge again, wicket again. Munro is out. New Zealand all out for 1. Australia get the victory. Could lock in a finals position after this win here today. Geez, it has done a fantastic effort from Mitchell Starc. Handed him back the ball after maybe 1 or 2 games without it, and he brings both wickets in the opening 3 deliveries. Australia a 23-1 win, and this could put them in a strong ladder position with 1 round to go. So with that victory, the Australians move into 2nd position, fix their net run rate up a bit, and have 3 wins in a row to put them in this spot. New Zealand drop to 8th position with that loss. 3 wins, 5 losses. Much like Pakistan, you would think that they are out of the competition right now. We've got 2 games remaining in this round. What are they? We have Bangladesh and Ireland, and England versus India. So Bangladesh, India, and England, all huge games coming up for them. If England and Ireland get the wins, we are all set for a massive final round, because it's all on the line. There's still technically 7 teams eligible to get in that top 4. And hey, even if those 4 win, there's probably even 8 or 9 teams still in the running to get to that top 4. So we'll see how it all plays out in the final, in part 2 of this 8th round of the 2-2-2 World Cup.